She's smiling. Hello, chapter 356 of Rent a Girlfriend. Hi, I'm Faye. I talk about Rent a Girlfriend stuff. And without further ado, let's mosey. Oh, so before we continue, the teaser for this chapter was thanks or thanks a lot. Not in a sarcastic way, in a genuine way. Now, what's interesting is that you'll see there was a shift. As I showed you earlier, I saw the thumbnail for the chapter and Chizuru was smiling. But also, I just saw it! He says it! Yes! My king, let's go. Let's go. I knew Reiji was saving it for the next chapter. Okay, so I did read the last chapter, chapter 355, and Kazuya doesn't say she's cute, and everybody's just, like, if you go to Reddit, if you go to anywhere, they're just like, dude, just say she's cute, what the fuck, man? He says she's cute, right there. I saw it, like, on the fucking glimpse, like, the bottom of my eye, my fucking peripheral vision, I saw it. Yes! Now, there is something interesting I do want to point out. Last chapter ends after Chizuru says what she says, and the blockway to the escalator opens. They're literally a police officer or security guard. They're security guards, not police officers. They show up and they open the railway as if symbolically telling Kazuya, go, go. Your road is open. Your path is clear. Do what you need to do. So there is an interesting symbolism happening there. I know some people were a little upset that Kazuya didn't say it then, but he says it now. And I think that was the important part, is like that chapter was symbolic of the path you want to walk. I mean, seriously, last chapter starts with Chizuru's cover page explaining her fashion, how cute it is, something Kazuya did in an earlier chapter. This was just a bit more descriptive. So isn't it fitting the chapter that gives a description of how cute Chizuru looks is the chapter where Kazuya can't say she's cute and Chizuru says she wants to be called cute. And then we get here. Like magic. And I bet there's gonna be a spread of Kazuya saying she's cute. Oh, let's go. Okay, let's read it. I'm done talking. So yeah, the door's open, the escalator's open. Ah, it's open. Let's go. 4th floor, right? 4th floor. Chizuru's iconic number. I want you to think I'm cute. You're cute. Huh? You are cute. It's not a spread, but I'm still happy. Also, I would scream it, you are cute, right? Like I would do that, and I just did. Let's just keep going. I feel like they could have used a better font. Am I the only one who thinks they could have used a more bold font, a more powerful font? It feels like it makes more sense, but you know. I kind of feel like I made you say that. That's not true. God, does it sound fake? I thought this was the perfect time because she hinted at it so much. Thanks. There it is. There's the thanks. Look at that smile, it's so precious. It's precious. Oh, hurry up. The escalator's moving. Oh, I just realized this is a nod. This is a nod to the cosplay arc. For those who remember the cosplay arc when Kazuya, Minnie, and Chizuru went to cosplay for Minnie, so Minnie could sell shit. Remember what happened at the very end of that arc? Kazuya says, like, you're cute or something like that. And Chizuru thought it was fake because it wasn't something Kazuya usually says. But what was interesting about that time is like, later, she realized based on Kazuya's expression, oh, he meant that. Here, isn't it awesome how Kazuya says it, there's a pause, and she says, I kind of feel like I made you say that. You know, the whole thing of uncertainty of, oh, it's not real, it's not earned, he didn't say it because I blah, 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 right? Like, I wanted him to say it without me having to say anything. I love that they removed that idea because it's stupid. That idea is stupid, right? Like the idea that there's no sincerity in it just because it was said because you indicated you wanted to be called, that doesn't mean it's insincere. Like there's a clear sincerity underneath there. And come on, Kazuya screamed it out loud. That's the iconic Kazuya really means it action. I'm just saying, that's the iconic Kazuya really means it action. You don't believe me? Go back to Paradise. In Paradise, when Chizuru tells him, like, I want to know, like, what you think of my outfit, and then she tells him, like, it's all for practice and all that bullshit, you know, even though she really wants to be told she's cute, Kazuya gives her, like, a full description, and he's screaming it out just like this. This is the iconic Kazuya really means it action. So this tells me this is a very Kazuya's actions focused chapter. This is the indication here. And so I love that the sheer real genuine communication here and just her reaction afterwards. Like it doesn't matter if he said it because you prompted it or because like he wanted to say it or whatever. He said it. He said it and he clearly meant it. That's all that matters. That's it. We're set. That's it. And it makes her happy. And she smiles ear to fucking ear. She's so happy. And isn't it fitting? This happens right as we are entering the literal metropolis of fucking joy. Joypolis. Oh, P.S. I gotta ask something really quick. I'll come back to this. Just pause. Does Joyopolis sound better, or does Joypolis sound better? Just tell me in the comments. I don't know which one. Like, I've been thinking about this entire fucking time. Like, which one sounds better, Joyopolis or Joypolis? I don't really mind. I'm a little leaning towards Joyopolis, but I don't really particularly mind. But I would like to know what you guys think in the comments below. Anyways, back to this. Yes. So, literally, as they're entering the literal city of joy, the metropolis of joy, we see her smile. Right as they are getting to the escalator to go there. Actually, technically, they're not even in there yet because they're going to the mall, then they're gonna eat pancakes, then they're gonna enter Joypolis. So technically, they're not even going in there yet, but you get my point. The escalator opened and they are rising. They are literally rising. Okay, Reiji. Oh, hurry up. The escalator's moving. Yeah, okay. I said it. I really said it. She practically held my hand the whole way through, though. I said it was a Kazuya chapter. I didn't think Reiji would just straight up give Kazuya a fashion breakdown because Kazuya actually dressed up. If this doesn't tell you this date is different, I don't know what does. Today's outfit for Kazuya Kinoshita. My girlfriend and love 5. Okay, so another thing I want to point out. 3 and 5 and 6 seem to be numbers directly connected to Kazuya for various reasons. 3 is a very lucky number and is connected to Buddhism, and there's a whole bunch of things happening with number 3. 4 is Chizuru's number because it can literally be read like the word for death. If you don't believe me that these two numbers are connected to them, Kazuya's room number is 203, Chizuru's room number is 204. When Sayuri dies, the room number she has is 204. It's Chizuru's room number. In hospitals, they don't, in Japan in particular, they don't have the number 4 because it literally can be read like the word for death. So it's bad omen to have them in hospitals. The same thing for 4 and 9, I think. Like 9 can be read like torture or pain or like, you know, really bad shit. I think 6 or 5 is considered a boring number. I think 6 is the one that's considered a boring number, which is why Reiji connects it to Kazuya. And then 5 is also a lucky number, but for like a slightly different reason. And then Kazuya and Chizuru together have a deep connection to the number 7, because 3 plus 4 is 7, and 7 is a super lucky number. And Mommy's number is also number 7. It's literally in her name. Nana is 7. That's how you say 7 in Japanese. And then the other part of it is connected directly to the word Nami, which is C. So her last name is literally 7 C's. And Mommy literally sings this in her character opening song for the anime. She literally says the 7 C's. So there is a connection to the characters and their numbers. And if you'll notice, Kazuya's number being 3 and Mommy's number being 7, Kazuya completes Mommy in a sense, but Mommy on her own is the luckiest number there fucking is. So she doesn't need to be completed. She just needs to embrace herself and what she wants to do. So there is an interesting symbolism how Kazuya and Chizuru complete each other. Like they make up, like Kazuya's lucky, Chizuru has an unlucky number, and they balance each other out. This mixes perfectly with Reiji's theme of night and day for Kazuya and Chizuru, light and darkness, sun and the moon. Like Reiji does that a lot for these characters. There's a whole thing that he does. So it is super cool that like they have this entire motif that they're playing at here. And also, oh my god, Chibi Chizuru is so cute. Okay, so I'm gonna stop. I know I've been ranting a little bit, so let's keep going. Got his hair cut and dyed for just under 10,000 yen from a hairdresser he rarely visits. That's funny. It's not 100 USD. I'm gonna find it. Okay, so this is one of my pet peeves with K-manga. I don't know who the fucking translator is, who the localizer is, what fucking ever. It's not a 10,000 yen is 100 USD. It's not. The yen costs less than the US dollar. So like significantly less. So it's not an equivalent margin as it is. So let me show you guys what it actually is. There it is. He spent $67. Not 100, 67. And this was a common issue that kept reoccurring over and over and over when they were going through like Kazuya shopping and Kazuya getting things. Like they said like the money he spent on the shoes was like $600. The dude did not buy a PS5 and these shoes were an investment. Anyways, let's keep going. Traveling light with a shoulder bag for the ultimate urban look for a man. Yeah, that's true. That's true. A light knit moss green jacket. The jacket is green, and it's a moss green. Motherfucker's wearing Zoro. That's casual, but not too childish. Yo, blue and green are my favorite fucking colors, and Kazuya is wearing the colors that create aqua, blue and green. Relaxed fit jeans with a purposeful low-key design. Dude, he's giving it an actual breakdown. I love this. 8 eyelet me 146 Pascal dead sock boots that he overstepped a little to buy at Dr. Martens. Yes. He did spend a little too much. Let's get that out of the way. He did spend a little too much on these shoes. P.S. Dr. Martens, real brand. Like Reishi just straight up put the actual brand in there. So yes, he did overstep a little on the shoes. However, the shoes were symbolic of his commitment, because these are the kind of shoes where if you take care of them, you look after them, they can literally last you a lifetime. They're that good a quality. So Kazuya replaced the shoes that he just kind of bought real quick for the movie arc for shoes that were symbolic of his real commitment. Clothes literally convey what Kazuya wants to convey to Chizuru. In that same way, Chizuru's clothes are very much the same exact way. They're both for her and for Kazuya. And I have an entire breakdown on it that I'll get into another time because I'm already like, dude, we're still on the opening page. I haven't even gotten into the chapter. This is Daiba Aichum Shopping Street. I think Chizuru said that. Mizuhara is just so cute. I can't stop looking just at the booty. Just at her booty, that's so funny. I can't believe what she said earlier. She wants me to think she's cute. That just proves she got all dressed up just for me today. Isn't that love? That's love, right? No, I can't let the fact that I call her cute go to my head. It's more like girls just want everyone to think that they're cute. No, Kazuya, you were doing good, my brother. Don't fall into the trap. Anyway, I've got to focus on the date. But does Mizuhara like the retro games and candy? Besides, she said that she's already been to Dex several times before. And people said the mini arc with Kazuya had no point. Oh my god, they mirror each other. They mirror each other. When Kazuya and Minnie got to this exact spot on the date, this was Kazuya's reaction. Chizuru's reaction was Kazuya's reaction. They were fucking glowing. Lost in the hype. Lost in how cool shit looks, like a little kid. Yo, Reishi's flipping this entire date on his head, and I love it. He's gonna continuously surprise us throughout the entire day. That's what the opening was symbolic of for chapter 352, I believe. That's pretty much what it was. It was symbolic of this idea that everything you're walking into is not gonna be like you expect it to. You're gonna be surprised in a lot of different ways. So a lot of us, including myself, assume that like Chizuru, since she's been here so much, like she's probably like not gonna react in such a way when she gets there. And then here we are seeing her react in such a way. Does this look like the reaction of someone who's been here 7 fucking times? Fucking sure as hell fucking don't. Wow, amazing. What is this place? There are retro games everywhere. How nostalgic. I've never seen some of these before. I love the atmosphere too. She's super excited, literally like him. She's saying the same shit. Oh! I thought you'd been here before, to Dex. No, I've been to Joy Polis a lot, but I've never been here. I see. Really? Yo, win for my boy. What's what you get for your fucking plan? I mean, rental dates are limited on time. Joy Polis alone is enough to take up the entire date. It'd easily take 1 or 2 hours. I'm so glad I decided to come here. Thank you, everyone, from Daiba Shopping Street. How are you supposed to play this? Wow, air hockey. This one's for kids. This is a must-have for arcades, huh? There are even big ones now. Yeah, they had a weird translation. There are big ones even now. Yeah, right. Doesn't it sound better when you say there are even big ones now? This is so nostalgic. This is definitely something couples would play. If only I was brave enough to ask her to play with me. I'm such a coward. Huh? Wanna play? Yes! Dude, we've been getting so much of Chizuru playing games in this arc, in the cohabitation arc. So much of them has been playing games, Chizuru being competitive. Minnie really kind of introduced that into the, oh my god, look at her face! They're such a cute couple! Yes! Yes! Look, she's so competitive! I love her! Oh, that's so cute. So, isn't it so cute that Chizuru has been playing games around Kazuya and Minnie, so now she's very competitive around them. This is what's cute about this, so just a little bit off topic, but not completely. I was gonna make a video for volume 36. So, and I was like a good halfway into editing it. This was gonna be a big video because it kind of blew out of proportions a little bit. Like initially it was just for volume 36, but then like I started delving into it. I got into the history of the series. There's a lot going on. I still plan to put this video out, but it needs to be restructured a little bit because like it's a little dated. Like some things that were happening in the video are a little dated. So I need to make them more like, oh, this didn't just happen. This happened a while ago, or this or that, or this or that, you know? Anyways, what was interesting about volume 36 is that if you go to that volume, it's the volume where Chizuru is playing video games. And what was so interesting about that is that it seems like one of those traditional volume covers where it has nothing to do with what's going on in the fucking story. Except it turns out it's completely wrong. It actually has everything to do with the story. Not just because Chizuru is playing games within the narrative, but literally how it's symbolic of Chizuru transforming as a character. Because one of the things Reiji did initially at the very start of the series, like very early, like before it even got serialized, I think, was that he released images. The Ideal Girlfriend, that's what he called it. It was the Ideal Girlfriend series. And eventually it became the Chizuru series, right? Like initially it was just a bunch of different female characters. He did introduce Mami through it. He introduced Ruka through it. I don't think he introduced Sumi through it, but he did introduce Ruka, Mami, and Chizuru, and even Kazuya in one of them. And what was interesting is that eventually it became a Chizuru thing, and one of them was Chizuru playing games. She was playing a Switch. It was clearly like the Switch controller, and she was playing it like a total noob. And then you go to the volume cover for volume 36, and she's playing like a fucking pro. I think she's straight up holding the pro controller. She's straight up just holding the pro controller. She looks like she games regularly. So isn't that super fitting and symbolic for Chizuru's transformation and rebirth as a character in the cohabitation arc? Something you can literally see here. Chizuru playing games with Kazuya here, like this, it feels like they've played games before. It shows Chizuru's competitive side. Chizuru's a very competitive character. In fact, one Japanese fan literally said on Twitter, like Chizuru is trying to even be competitive in the relationship, in the sense that she's trying to beat Kazuya's love, make her love better than his in a sense, because she puts Kazuya's love on a very high pedestal. Kazuya has in Chizuru's eyes, a very unconditional, a very selfless form of love, which is true. In a lot of ways, it is very true. But at the same time, Chizuru's trying to one-up that, and that's part of Chizuru's struggle to try to feel worthy of Kazuya and her love with him. That's a part of what Chizuru wants to achieve, is like she wants her love to be good enough to be worthy of his, but now she's changing a little bit. She's trying to get to a point where she wants to be better than him. She wants to surpass him in some ways in terms of love. And that's so cute, considering if you go back to the chapter where she talks about Sayuri. Remember the chapter where she talks about Sayuri, where she shows Kazuya the film for the first time? We're like, oh my god, she showed Kazuya the film, and she showed with that. Remember what she says to him? She says, she was my goal, she was my dream, she was my rival in a sense. And as she says this, she turns and looks at Kazuya with her eyes closed. What's interesting about that is her eyes are not open. She doesn't realize he is her goal now. He is her rival. He is the thing she wants to constantly competitive with and surpass. And I think that's so fucking cute. It's literally this. It's Chizuru's competitive side that is present even in her love. And that's something that's being reflected here in just wanting to play. And I just really wanted to point out this layers and layers that Reiji has cooked and built for this arc that I think many people are not seeing, because there is a lot. He even said this on Twitter, by the way. The moment this arc started, he pretty much went on Twitter and he said, like, I needed to build all this excitement and all of this stuff beforehand before we get to this arc, because it's necessary to deliver what I want to deliver with this arc. So there you go. Anyways, let's keep going. I want to play. Yeah, I'm red. Chizuru's favorite color is red. God, the little subtleties, dude. Whoa, that was crazy. Your score, your opponent's score, tied 8-8. Minnie's number. What the fuck? P.S. for Minnie, 8 is literally in her name. It's literally like a kanji in Yamori, I believe. It's literally straight up in her name. We're having a really close match. This is happening so fast. Is it okay if I win this? Can't really tell anymore. She's good. Perfect aim. I straight up lost. The smile. It's so precious. The jiggle. This is an emotional roller coaster. Let's check over here next. Sure. Also, for those people who are saying Kazuya and Chizuru don't talk, look at them talking right here. God, I love their energy. I love how last chapter was essentially breaking the ice, and this chapter was just go to town, have fun, and it's still raining out. Oh my God. Still, Miso are so excited. You know that new apartment complex at the corner of the station? Huh? The spot was originally an arcade. Naturally, it had a bunch of old games in it, just like here. I used to go there with my grandma a lot. We didn't have much money, but for around 100 yen, we could play quite a few of them. Not $1 is a little less than $1. Wow, I never knew. That's why I'm having so much fun. It's like I'm a kid again.
Vindication!
Reishi's a king, dude. Y'all spend so much time underestimating him as a writer. You know I'm reacting like this because there's an entire thematic element with Chizuru becoming a kid again. With Chizuru reclaiming her childhood, a character who acts as a rental girlfriend to help people reclaim an experience they have lost or never got to experience or was robbed of them in some way. A character who helps people reclaim their experiences is now reclaiming her experiences. Yeah, and that's the whole theme with Kazuya and Chizuru's character. So much of it is, so the beginning of the series is so much of it is Kazuya kind of reclaiming his childhood, doing the things he wants to. A good example is the Dream Date. The Dream Date is Kazuya reclaiming his high school life. The high school experience he never got to have, he was reclaiming it in the Dream Date. Now, Kazuya is very much reclaiming his adulthood. Kazuya essentially lost his adulthood as a byproduct of the Paradise arc. That was kind of it. Like, Kazuya builds up like his idea of being an adult through the movie arc. That's kind of it. That's why so many people like Kazuya in the movie arc, because Kazuya is building this idea around what it means to be an adult in a sense. But it was imbalanced. The reason it was imbalanced is because the entire movie arc builds itself around the idea of selflessness, doing something for someone else because you care for them that much. You're doing it just for them. Underneath it, there's the selfishness. When you get to Paradise, Paradise centers itself around the idea of embracing your selfish side, but the core theme of Paradise is grief, trauma, and depression, all the sad shit. So for people who are reading through Paradise and you found it like depressing, sad, and gloomy and shit, that's the point. That's the theme of the arc. That was exactly the point of that arc. In that arc, what happens? Kazuya is trying to embrace his selfish side, his desires, what he really wants, and he gets burned. I mean, really, really fucking burned. And it wasn't necessarily anybody's fault here. Chizuru got burned too. Chizuru tried to embrace her kid side in the movie arc. She tried to embrace the little child underneath, and you saw her struggling through it the entire time. And she also gets burned. Both of the characters got burned, not just from each other, but the people around them. And it's because they didn't believe in these parts of themselves. And this is the important part of the movie arc and why I think the Paradise arc needed to happen. I get people just disagree with me, but whatever. A lot of people after the cheer up date wanted Kazuya and Chizuru to get together. Can we all just agree that's what everybody wanted? They just wanted them to get together after the cheer up date. This is why it would not work. And this is pretty much what I believe Reishi's mentality was. The characters never confronted themselves. Chizuru in the movie arc never really had character progression. She had her character progression here. This is when her character progression started. This the cohabitation arc, that was her character progression. That was her character development. And I get it, like there was moments where she changed and evolved and like moved on a little bit, but Chizuru as a character throughout the story, at least in the movie arc, like before the movie arc, she did change a little bit. She as a character struggled to change and evolve because she did not confront her emotions. You fundamentally cannot change without having emotional experiences. This is why when you like go numb playing video games or watch pornography or watch TV shows and you just kind of sit down and you just kind of do that, you're not having an emotional experience. You're literally mentally numbing your brain. I'm not saying you can't enjoy these things. I'm saying because you're on one side of the extreme, you cannot experience something else. You cannot like truly enjoy it and embrace it for what it is. This is super important for these characters, and this is why like there's a whole thing with phones. Remember how this arc starts, the cohabitation arc? Phones literally disconnected the characters. Then phones connected the characters, and then they no longer needed phones. They can put their phones down and actually connect to each other emotionally. They don't need their phones anymore. The phones are actually just in the way at that point. So this is what Reiji's kind of going for. The characters in this arc, particular Chizuru in this arc, is literally directly confronting her emotions and actually having emotional experiences and actually absorbing and thinking about it. And this is why she changes so much, why we see so much of the real Chizuru kind of coming out. Not Ichinose, not Mizuhara, the real Chizuru who's been hidden underneath all of that. The little kid. Kazuya, in contrast, was also going through something like this, but kind of in reverse. So naturally, what does Kazuya end up doing? He ends up doing exactly what Chizuru used to do. He stops acting on his emotions, but at the same time, you're noticing how Kazuya is starting to understand his emotions in a much clearer light because he's not simply working off of them like he used to, in contrast to Chizuru, who is now actually embracing her emotions and acting on them, in so doing, learning more about them. Yeah, so that's the whole theme with these characters, and Reiji is definitely tackling this element of the characters feeling like kids again, but also understanding what it means to be an adult, which is embracing your kid side. And we can delve into it more at another time, not in this particular video, because there's a lot of layers to this that Reiji was foreshadowing at the very, very beginning of this, before we even got to Joy Polis, as Reiji was planning this particular element of Chizuru having to face her kid side. So in this chapter, we're seeing the positivity of the kid side. There is a negativity to the kid side Reiji is not facing quite yet. In particular, has something to do with Mami, Ruka, and even Minnie. Minnie is actually a part of this too, and this is an element that Chizuru has to face for herself, but also Kazuya has his own versions of that in terms of adulthood and childhood that he also has to confront. So let's continue. I see. That's why she seems so happy. No. I can't get ahead of myself. I got extremely lucky. I swear, I'm going to give her the best date ever. And doesn't this feel like his selfish side is mixing with his selfless side? Oh, really? I'm glad. Don't worry, I can figure it out for myself. Oh, this is when she told Sayuri. I love the glowing here. Doesn't he look dazzling? And that's a big thing for Kazuya's character. Let's finish this chapter and I'll get into this in just a sec. Want to check out the candy store next? Yeah, I do. And it pans to the rain. How fitting. So I think I know what Reiji's doing here, and I'll do a few things in just a sec. For this date is gonna have this thing that's gonna always be in the background. This kind of negative element that keeps you a little uncertain. Something is off, something is weird, and you don't know what's going on. And there's a lot of layers behind the characters too. This is why Chizuru is shadowed here, right? Chizuru is shadowed here. She remembers her past. She turns, she looks at him, and he's fucking glowing. Look at these stars, he's dazzling. Kazuya's presence makes her aware of the words she spoke, makes her aware of that moment where she wondered to herself, I'm going to figure it out. As if saying, he's literally making her figure it out, just by her looking at him. His presence is making Chizuru think this way. If he can make her aware of it, I feel like that's a pretty good thing. And you see her face, and her eyes lift. This is meant to be reflective of how Kazuya is seeing her throughout the entire chapter. That's Reiji's structure pretty much. In the past chapters, you can see this too. Remember chapter 354, I believe, where they're literally walking underneath the umbrella and they think the same exact thing. And this is that. Kazuya leads her on, and you see the rain in the background. That's how it ends. The rain round. And remember the very first page right before this arc starts, it's the spread where Chizuru's staying next to the word kiss, and you see the bridge from Odaiba in the background, and there's the clouds and all of that. The clouds were clearing and it looks like a sunrise or a sunset. Pretty much the symbolism here is that the rain will be there the entire time until possibly the very end, where the characters are going to have some sort of confrontation. They're going to have to face themselves in order to truly fully love each other. And that's pretty much what this arc is building, that the characters might have some sort of fight, something might go wrong. I get like when you read a chapter like this, that doesn't give you the indication they're going to have any sort of fight. I didn't fucking get that at all. But when you see little details like this, it gives you the impression that there is something they're not facing yet, some things they have to truly confront. You can't just have good things, you also need to have bad things. That's what relationships are. Relationships are both. You have to have the bad side to get the good side. And they're having a lot of good side here, but they kind of need to confront some of the negative elements they're not completely facing. So while they are starting to getting more comfortable, this is actually all a prelude to them actually having a proper talk, a proper confrontation, something happening, maybe even a fight. Remember what I said at the very beginning of this video. Last chapter opened with Chizuru's breakdown and Kazuya not being able to tell her she looks cute. In this chapter, Kazuya tells her she looks cute, but the cover page is Kazuya's outfit and Chizuru looking, and she's double blushing. So when the chapter ends, she's sharing all these information with him, she's talking to him. Even Kazuya says it in this chapter. Isn't that just straight up love? Like that you tell someone that? But here she is, and she looks at him and he's dazzling. And then she just picks up and keeps going. Almost indicative of the fact that Chizuru is trying to find a way to say she loves him. Just as Kazuya was trying to find a way to tell her she's cute. Or try to maybe communicate her love and understand her love. It really shows Chizuru's trying to like have a real, very intimate communication with Kazuya here, and she is struggling. There's layers to this. Maybe it's not just I want to tell him I love him. Maybe it's that she's trying to understand her love still. Like she has all the symptoms of love, and yet she doesn't feel like it fits. But why? Why doesn't it fit? Just as Kazuya constantly wonders to himself, why can't I say she's cute? Why can't I tell her she's cute? Why can't I just say that? Is it just emotional outbursts? That's the problem with Chizuru. She's trying to understand her emotions with logic and reasoning when she should just be embracing them. We're seeing how Chizuru's both embracing them and yet also not really. Both are happening at the same time. There's so many layers to Chizuru. She's such an interesting fucking character. So for now, I'm just gonna go to see what the next time is really fast. The teaser for next time is Mambo. For the next page preview, it says, I've never seen or heard of Mambo, but I looked it up and it seems to be the name of a candy bar. Will there be a scene when they eat cheap snacks in the next episode? And this is so fucking interesting. Remember in the menstruation arc, Chizuru wanted a specific brand of cookie chocolates. It was chocolate yen coins. And those chocolate yen coins were pretty random, pretty something you don't know much about, and it seems like Mambo is that same exact experience. Chizuru is going to go to the candy store and she or Kazuya are going to find something that is from their childhood that they're going to reclaim in some form. So maybe the next chapter has a focus on candy, sweetness, and maybe relishing in that desire, in that indulgence. And another user underneath did comment how they didn't know what Mambo was, and it translated to chalk. For both translations, I got chalk. So this seems to be the candy that they will be eating, and it's an old retro kind of candy. So yeah, this seems to be what Kazuya and Chizuru are going to be checking out or trying. Get them frozen. Wow, these are really interesting. Damn, I kind of want to try them now. For now, I've been Fate. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, like button, and bell icon, keep up with the uploads, everything I just said earlier. And remember, let's mosey.